What I love about Eala, the mentality is like Rafa, never say die, from start to finish, gets the job done, finds a way.
There is an invisible line on a spreadsheet inside the United States Tennis Association's operations office, and that line sits at number 32. Every player above it earns a seeded position at this year's US Open. Everyone below it does not. Throughout the entire 58-year history of the Open era at Flushing Meadows, no Filipino player, male or female, has ever finished above that line. Not once. Now, Alex Eala is on the verge of changing that forever. At just 21 years old, she is projected to become the first Filipino player ever to be seeded at the US Open, with a comfortable margin of 4 to 6 ranking places. She currently sits at world number 32, and once all of her Wimbledon ranking points are fully reflected in the WTA standings, she is expected to climb back into the high 20s. If she maintains that position through the seeding cutoff in August, a place that remained empty for Filipino tennis since 1968 will finally have a name written above it, hers. There will be no grand ceremony, no special announcement, just a historic milestone quietly achieved. But to appreciate what that moment truly means, you have to look back just 2 years. In August 2024, on those same courts in Queens, Eala stood one victory away from reaching her first US Open main draw as a professional. Facing Romania's Elena Gabriela Ruse in the final qualifying round, she fell in 3 sets, 3-6, 6-1, 4-6, and left New York without a single main draw appearance to show for her effort. Fast forward 24 months, and the story has completely changed. Instead of battling just to get into the tournament, she is now projected to be seated above the very player who once ended her dream. Still, nothing has been finalized. The official US Open seedings will not be confirmed until roughly 6 weeks before the tournament begins, meaning everything will depend on the results of the events she is about to play. First comes the Wimbledon DC Open from July 25th to August 2nd, followed immediately by the National Bank Open in Toronto from August 2nd to August 13th. Both tournaments feature incredibly strong fields. Washington alone includes stars like Alina Svitolina, Marta Kostyuk, Naomi Osaka, and Venus Williams, while Toronto is expected to welcome nearly every top player on the WTA Tour. Adding even more pressure, players such as Hailey Baptiste, Yelena Ostapenko, and Emma Raducanu remain only a few ranking spots behind Eala, each capable of jumping above the seeding line with one outstanding tournament. That is why the situation is so fascinating. Eala is no longer chasing a dream. She is protecting a position she has earned. And in tennis, just like in the rankings, having a lead means very little until the match is over. The encouraging part is that she has very few ranking points to defend. During this stretch of the 2025 season, she suffered a first-round exit in Toronto and later missed Cincinnati because of a shoulder injury. That means the downside is limited, while the opportunity is enormous. A quarterfinal run at either tournament could lift her to a brand new career-high ranking and secure her place among the US Open seeds. That is the challenge ahead. There is no single rival standing in her way, only a narrow ranking window that she must successfully navigate. And the reason so many people believe she can do it is not based on hope or emotion. It is backed by results. The evidence begins with the numbers. By March 2026, Alex Eala had climbed to world number 32, improving by more than 100 ranking places compared to the same period a year earlier. Just months later, on June 16th, she reached a career-high ranking of world number 29, proving that her rise was not a temporary breakthrough but the continuation of one of the fastest climbs in women's tennis. Following her round of 16 appearance at Indian Wells, Alex Eala continued to climb the rankings despite facing a challenging clay court season. As she openly admitted, it was an inconsistent stretch, with early exits in Madrid, a defeat to Eva Liss at Roland Garros, and another loss to Elena Rybakina in Rome. Even so, she never dropped out of the world's top 50, proving that her foundation remained strong. Once the tour shifted to grass, everything changed. Eala rediscovered her best tennis, capturing the Birmingham Open WTA 125 title at the beginning of June before producing an even bigger breakthrough in Berlin. There, She reached the semifinals while defeating two top 10 opponents, confirming that her rapid rise was no fluke. She then arrived at Wimbledon as the number 29 seed, becoming the first Filipino singles player in history to be seeded at any Grand Slam. That milestone alone made history, but it also showed that her projected US Open seeding is not an unexpected leap. It is simply the continuation of a journey she had already begun on the grass courts of London. The second piece of evidence is her trajectory, especially what unfolded on center court during the third round of Wimbledon on July 4th. Drawn against the defending champion, the world number 3, and a 5-time Grand Slam champion, Eala faced the biggest test of her career. The opening set lasted an exhausting 90 minutes and ended in a dramatic tiebreak that Eala won 11-9. After the match, her opponent even admitted that Eala's slower serve was surprisingly difficult to read, saying, "It's much tougher to return a serve like that than a normal serve." The second set lasted just 36 minutes as Eala completed a stunning 7-6, 6-2 victory, advancing to the fourth round of a Grand Slam for the first time in her career. It was also the deepest singles run ever achieved by a Filipino player at a major tournament. Although her remarkable journey ended in the next round with a 3-set loss to the 13th seed, Jasmine Paolini, the significance of that victory extended far beyond the tournament itself. It proved that when a player ranked around number 29 defeats the world number 3 on one of tennis' biggest stages, her ranking is no longer the limit of her potential. It becomes the starting point for what she is capable of achieving. The final piece of evidence is something statistics cannot fully explain. It is geography. Because this story is no longer just about rankings or spreadsheets. It is about a place that has shaped every major chapter of Alex Eala's professional career. The USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center in Flushing, New York, has witnessed every defining moment of her journey. In September 2022, she captured the US Open Girls Singles title there, defeating Lucy Havlikova 6-2, 6-4 to become the first Filipino player ever to win a Junior Grand Slam Singles Championship. 2 years later, in August 2024, she returned to the same venue only to suffer heartbreak, falling in the final round of qualifying and leaving without a place in the main draw. Then, in August 2025, she came back once again, this time making her first Grand Slam main draw appearance as a professional. In the opening round, she defeated the number 14 seed, Clara Tauson, becoming the first Filipino player in the Open era to win a Grand Slam main draw singles match. Now, in August 2026, she returns to those familiar courts once again, but this time with a chance to make even more history as the first Filipino player ever projected to compete at the US Open as a seeded player. If Alex Eala's ranking holds, she will return to those same grounds this August not as a qualifier or an outsider, but as the first Filipino player in history to compete at the US Open as a seeded singles player. Think about that journey for a moment. 4 different Augusts, one unforgettable venue. In 2022, she celebrated a Junior Grand Slam title there. In 2024, she experienced the heartbreak of falling one match short of the main draw. In 2025, she earned her first Grand Slam main draw victory. And now, in 2026, she is on the verge of arriving as a seeded player. That isn't a storyline anyone could have planned. It is a career naturally unfolding at the very place where every defining chapter has been written. Because of the significance of what is about to happen, it is worth listening to the voices of people who understand that stage better than almost anyone. Former world number 4 and 1997 US Open finalist Greg Rosetsky watched Eala's Wimbledon performance from the BBC commentary box on center court. Immediately after her stunning victory, he praised her potential, saying, "This is somebody who's going to win the Wimbledon championship one day and possibly get to the top 5 in the world. She is that good." The following day, he reinforced that belief on his podcast, adding, "Eala shows she has a very high tennis IQ. The sky is the limit for her. The mentality is like Rafa, never say die from start to finish, gets the job done, finds a way." His comments were echoed by Pam Shriver, a 22-time Grand Slam doubles champion and former US Open finalist, who admitted during the same BBC broadcast, "I can't believe what I've watched." Really, the first set was extraordinary. When two former US Open finalists make those kinds of statements about the same player within days of each other, those words carry real weight. They are not offering empty praise. They are delivering professional evaluations based on decades of experience competing and analyzing tennis at the highest level. That is why this milestone means so much more than simply reaching a certain ranking. It represents the continuation of a journey that very few Filipino players have ever been able to take. Before the Open era, the country's greatest tennis pioneer was Felicissimo Ampon. Despite standing only 4 feet 11 inches tall, he reached the quarterfinals of the French championships in both 1952 and 1953, earning recognition as one of the greatest Filipino tennis players of all time. However, his achievements came before the Open era began in 1968, long before today's modern seeding system existed. Since then, not a single Filipino man or woman had ever entered a Grand Slam singles draw as a seeded player. Wimbledon 2026 finally broke that barrier. If the rankings remain unchanged, the 2026 US Open will become the second Grand Slam where Eala carries that distinction, and fittingly, it will happen on the very courts where her professional story has experienced its greatest triumphs and toughest setbacks. Just days ago on center court, moments after defeating IGA Swiatek, Eala stood before the crowd with tears in her eyes and shared an emotional message. She said, "I'm really emotional. Maybe for someone like IGA, who has won so many slams, or someone like Serena or Venus, this achievement may seem small. But for someone who grew up in the Philippines, who trained every day after school with my brother and my grandfather wearing ruffled socks, high-top shoes, and with my chubby cheeks, this means everything." She then looked toward the Filipino supporters waving their flags in the stands and dedicated the victory to them, reminding the world that her remarkable journey has always represented something much bigger than tennis alone. All the little girls with ruffled socks and chubby cheeks, because this means the world. Those heartfelt words perfectly captured what this journey has always been about. Every Grand Slam seeding begins as nothing more than a number on a spreadsheet, but this one represents so much more. Behind that ranking is a little girl practicing on the courts of Quezon City with her grandfather after school, wearing worn-out high-top shoes, oversized socks, and dreaming of a future that once seemed impossible. That is the real story behind the line she is about to cross. Of course, none of this means the job is finished. Just 2 days after her unforgettable victory over IGA Swiatek, Eala's Wimbledon campaign came to an end with a hard-fought 3-set loss to Jasmine Paolini, 4-6, 6-4, 3-6. The defeat carried extra disappointment because Eala had already beaten Paolini earlier this season in Dubai, proving she was capable of winning that matchup. Yet her response afterward revealed exactly why so many people believe in her future. Speaking to reporters, she said, "I'm happy with how I faced it head-on. I think I stayed calm when I needed to control my emotions. Every match I play, I step onto the court believing I can win." Those are not the words of a player satisfied with making history. They are the mindset of someone determined to achieve even more. After Wimbledon, Eala returned home to Manila for a brief break, where thousands of fans eagerly awaited her appearance at the Glorieta Activity Center on July 15th before she begins the next crucial chapter of her season in Washington and Toronto. Those tournaments will ultimately decide whether her place inside the US Open seeded positions becomes official or slips away. Eala herself would be the first to admit that nothing has been guaranteed yet. But the reality is impossible to ignore. The seeding cutoff at world number 32, a position no Filipino player had ever occupied entering the US Open during the entire Open era, is now a line she sits comfortably above by several ranking places. Even more encouraging, she has very few ranking points to defend over the coming weeks, giving her an excellent opportunity not only to protect her position but possibly climb even higher. Just 24 months ago, she left New York after falling in the final round of qualifying. Today, after 4 unforgettable Augusts at the same venue, her story has evolved from junior champion to qualifying heartbreak, from first Grand Slam main draw victory to the verge of becoming the first seeded Filipino singles player in US Open history. On August 27th, she is also scheduled to participate in the U.S. Open Fan Week. Stars of the Open event alongside rising talents Joao Fonseca, Eva Jovic, and Lerner Tien, young players the tournament itself has identified as the next generation of tennis stars. That alone says something about where Alex Eala now belongs. She has earned her place through results, rankings, and years of steady progress, not through hype or reputation. What many fans will remember most is the emotional speech she gave on center court, recalling the little girl with ruffled socks, her grandfather, and the sacrifices that shaped her journey. But what the history books will remember is something even bigger: the moment a Filipino player's name finally rose above the U.S. Open seeding line for the very first time. If you've enjoyed following Alex Eala's incredible rise and want to see whether she secures that historic U.S. Open seeding in Washington and Toronto over the coming weeks, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Whether the seed becomes official or not, we'll be here to cover every step of the journey.